There you go, bitch.
And nice opening. Live. Welcome to Loquacious Ladies. Gems number 3.
Number 3. This is a true gem. Even the ladies are saying this is a true gem. We have the Loquacious Libation birthday ladies with us tonight.
Yep, we do. And
So
they got their drinks.
If you hear talking in the background, it sounds like two girls. We haven't turned like strange or anything.
Right.
It's just the two of them.
It's the Loquacious Ladies over here. The birthday girls. Happy birthday, ladies. All right, so for their birthday, what are we doing tonight?
Well, one of the mistakes I realized we've been making,
Okay,
is we every week we're so used to getting together, and it's like we have agenda items. We come in with agenda items, and that we're excited. We're excited to share each other's agenda item and get the laughter going between the two of us. And last week, what did we do? We started with doing that, but we didn't get to the alcohol until 30 minutes, when we should be yucking it up as we're drinking.
right, exactly.
So this week, let's start it out right, the way that we originally designed this to be.
So
Not that we really designed anything.
So now I noticed the email that you got earlier this week from the creator of the drink, right?
From the creator of the drink, a little shout out to Larissa Bastay. I think I'm saying that correctly, Bastay. I don't know, because she gave me her phone number, and of course I was so busy I didn't call it. So sorry about that, Larissa. I hope you're tuning in. But this week is a very unique, I guess, gin. It's blue gin. We're featuring. We'll get it up close so you can see the label. And I have one of their shirts on, some swag from the distillery. But it's the Isla Mirada Brewery and Distillery. It's in Isla Mirada, Florida. This distillery, if you go back to the gin lecture that I gave, and this is a prime example when I said, the rules changed and a whole bunch of small craft distilleries started to pop up and they're making gin. This is a prime example. This distillery opened in 2017. They started in Isla Mirada, Florida. They also have a facility in Fort Pierce, Florida. And this particular gin is made. What is backward?
We're backwards apparently. Let's see. Hang on, Sherry. I think I can fix that quickly. There we go. All right. We were reversed.
Oh, okay.
So now they can actually read the shirt, Godsmack.
I understand.
Right. There we go.
Well, we'll start with this part again. It's the Isla Mirada Brewery and Distillery. I got some swag, and you can get this stuff online too. You can just Google Isla Mirada Distillery, and you'll find them on the web. My idea of having a little card and holding it up, with the web address. Of course, I don't even listen to myself. But the distillery started in 2017. They started out making beer, brewing beer, and then grew into a distillery. They started out their distillery making rum, then they moved into vodka, and then into gin, and now into bourbon even. So they've got now the rules for bourbon. You got to be at least the spirit has to be barreled and be at least 2 years old to be called the bourbon. So they've just released that. Matter of fact, they released that the week that I was down at the mile marker 82 location. This drink tonight is called Mermaid Magic, and it is absolutely a delicious drink. I tasted a small sample of it, and I was just like, I knew right away this would be perfect for this particular show that I had kind of in my mind. I had a different cocktail slated for tonight, and this is such a good, tasty cocktail. It bumped it right out.
Sherry says, lost y'all. Brenda Woodfin says, happy birthday, ladies. Sherry, are we back yet? I'm seeing a black screen back here, too. I've got a feed over here. Sherry, can you see us?
I'll give you the parade wave.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, we've got something going back here.
Yeah, there's the parade wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So they can certainly see us. Oh, this is going to be a great video.
It says no. It looks a little frozen back there, here and there still, but it looks like we're.
Might be our internet connection.
Yeah, very well might be. But let's go ahead and forge on.
Yeah,
I mean, right now because well, there it goes back there again. We are having some storms in the area. It might be internet connection. Hopefully, this will be.
It could be a bandwidth issue. Who knows? Because there's a lot of phones that are all of a sudden connected to each other.
Right.
So. All right. Anyways, this particular cocktail, this is absolutely a delicious cocktail. I would encourage you to value proposition. You've heard us talk about value proposition many times in the past. This particular, you can buy this if you're in Florida, you can buy this bottle of gin. I don't know if they ship out of the state. You'd have to call and ask. They might. You can buy this on the internet. Now, typically. This gin gets its color. Hopefully you can get that blue, deep blue color. Blue gin gets its color from butterfly pea flowers. If you Google that, you'll see butterfly pea flower tea. It's made in a lot of different things and imparts a very blue color and a very unique flavor. Now, that's not the only thing flavoring this. It's called hibiscus gin. They also make a standard or a regular gin. The hibiscus gin, the botanicals it has hibiscus as one of the botanicals, some vanilla, some cardamom you'll get out of it. It's a very subtle palate, and it's a very, very, very tasty gin. And it's absolutely perfect for this drink. So huge kudos to Larissa for coming up with this particular cocktail. I called her a mixologist, and whether she knows it or not, she actually is, because this is a very well balanced cocktail. It's not overly sweet. It's got a very nice floral content to it, but it's also cut really nice, and it's a sour style cocktail because it's got lime juice in it. So
right.
I think that's all I need to say. You can if you want to get this, you can value proposition. If you go to any of the big box stores and you find a blue gin, or go online and just type in blue gin, this is not the only blue gin on the market, but you're going to see that those bottles are usually $45, $50, up to $60 and $70 for some blue gins. This, you can find this on the web for $31. I do not know if that includes shipping or not. I bought this if you buy it on site at the Mile Marker 82 facility that they have, which is a tasting room and a bar, and it's really got a great vibe. If you're going south in the Keys on Route 1, it's on the east side of the road. It's a yellow building. You cannot miss it. And it's right across the street from the La Jolla Hotel. So,
all right.
But it's they sell it at the facility for. I paid $27.50 for this bottle plus tax.
Wow!
So it is a true value proposition. So let's get to making. All right.
So just to let you know, we do seem to still have a little spotty problems going on, but I've got a picture back to you now. Hopefully you guys can see everything.
Well, let's just keep rolling.
Yeah, let's just keep rolling. We're going to try to keep on as it goes. Hopefully we'll be able to salvage something for whatever we post to YouTube tomorrow too. And we've already, by the way, we filmed the making of this, and that's going to be featured on that video as well.
Now, one of the things I asked for regret to inform you, I didn't post on Instagram because I was a little busy this week. The recipe for this cocktail, you normally, and here I'm going to make a commitment. What we're going to do is, we're gonna going forward, we're gonna try to make the cocktail of the week prior to film that and put it out as an Instagram reel with the recipe.
Right.
So look for that in the next week. We look for that.
Right. And additionally, I've been working with the overlay graphics on the
which has turned out fantastic. Michael's doing most of that stuff, and I have to give him total kudos because it looks so professional. Your talent just leaks through.
Thank you. Yeah, last week I added like the social media stuff after our names and things like that. So this week, what I'm hoping to do, and it's great that you're describing the recipe, because what I wanted to do was drop the recipe in the video.
And I
as
think
we're going.
we'll make that part of our Discord,
Yep.
like we've talked about, etc. I got some great music that I need to talk about this week.
Sweet.
That
Okay,
we
cool.
didn't talk about last week.
Nice. Yeah.
You both of us knew that. Okay. One of the drivers in this recipe is this. If you can see this, there we go. Elderflower syrup. Okay. You can make this if you want, but it's a pain. You're going to see new syrups coming in. The syrups that you can make, I'll have recipes for that. Oftentimes, if you're a professional bar person, it's very common for good bartenders, to make their syrups. The Monin label is one of the better syrups available on the market now. Elderflower syrup, you're going to see this syrup as we're building things out going forward. You're going to see this syrup again, yes, this fall, once or twice. So it's a half an ounce of elderflower syrup. And that brings a real floral flavor forward in this cocktail. It is an ounce and a half of hibiscus gin, of Alamorada hibiscus gin.
The color change actually happens in there since we're adding all the ingredients in there, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's one thing, when I filmed earlier, I did from above him, and he didn't do that. But I was able to get that color change in there too. I did put a question out there, how's the feed? Nobody responded yet, but it shows me have 2 viewers, so hopefully somebody's able to see something.
Well, I'm hoping that the good folks at the distillery, that's why I wanted to call, to kind of give them directions as to where to see it.
Right.
But one of the things I noticed, we did pick up some YouTube subscribers this week.
Yes, we've got 38 now. We need 12.
And we need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Once we get to that magic 50 number, then we can go live on YouTube, which is a much better platform.
Right. And what I'm planning on doing is when we go and are able to go live on YouTube, we're going to try to get it to where we can simulcast. For the first area, we'll probably still be on the Mad Hatter music page. As soon as we get enough time and followers over on the Facebook page, we'll scoot it over there and have it on the branded Facebook page as well. Which, here, quick opportunity. YouTube is at Loquacious Libations. Facebook is Loquacious Libations. And Instagram is Loquacious_Libations. So please, like Scott said, like, share, follow that. And there's our first completed one. At least the on camera. The ladies are over here enjoying theirs. How are those ladies? Still enjoying them?
They're engrossed in conversation.
And we got a thumbs up. So no responses in the live feed. It says 1 viewer. That's probably me back here. I guess everybody gave up on us. And here's the funny part is, I know this is hooked in through the internet as well, so what I'm seeing should be the feed. But that was being spotty.
Strange.
Hopefully this is working though. So yeah, we're talking about the butterfly pea flower and the changing colors. I was explaining to my sister what we were doing earlier this week, and she said that she's been looking into butterfly pea flower tea. Apparently there are some health benefits associated, including helping level blood sugar, some talk of help with weight loss, a couple other things too.
So I think all the more reason to drink more.
There you go. Antioxidants, all kind of good food.
Now we're starting to make excuses for drinking alcohol, which is not a good thing.
Medicinal purposes only still.
Yes, there you go. Thanks, Grandpa.
I was the one who canceled storage. Grandpa Simpson came out.
Damn it. Go play in the traffic.
So, I sent you something about this. This was kind of interesting that I saw this week. John Schneider recently got married. Again, he lost his wife a while back, and he and a widow got together and fell in love, and they got married recently.
Good for them.
Apparently, she does a podcast called Drinks with Dee Dee. And he's in on it with her now, so it's like Drinks with John and Dee Dee now. Basically what we're doing.
Toast.
Toast. Ladies, happy birthday.
Cheers.
We're just now getting the Irish for the first time.
Cheers. It's delicious.
I always like watching Hatter drink his, see what he thinks.
That's
That's a tasty cocktail.
totally
And it's
different.
very
from what we
pretty.
normally drink. It's very pretty.
It's very pretty.
a whole different taste.
Y'all's look like y'all got more liquor in y'all's because it's lighter.
You have one.
No,
But it's darker.
oh.
Remember, the gin is the dark part. We're trying to get you ladies drunk.
Okay.
Take advantage of.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've had any more energy tonight, honey.
Wayne-
Were you up this morning?
Wayne Kelly is watching with us. Coach Bridges is back out there with us again tonight. So, oh, Wayne had a birthday yesterday, by the way. Wayne Kelly.
Oh, well, happy
So-
belated.
Our,
Wayne.
our crown fell
Yep,
out
yep.
there.
Yep.
Bass player in one of Betty's daily songs that she has to hear. So every morning, okay, when I was actually back in a band and playing, it was really funny because my nephews from the back seat would request my music. So we'd be riding down the road or whatever, and they'd be hollering out from the back seat, won't roll, won't roll. They wanted to hear Raised on Rock and Roll. Right? So that was, normal thing.
Which is a great tune.
Yeah, thank you. So 30 years go by, and now I have to hear it every morning again now because Betty has to hear it every day on the way to work, along with Pictures on the Wall.
Which is a really, I think that's your best song. That's my favorite of yours.
But that's the one Wayne was playing on.
Excellent.
Yes, Coach Bridges, it is gin. We're using Isla Morada hibiscus gin. It's a butterfly pea flower colored gin, and it's very tasty.
Yeah, this is a very tasty drink.
It actually turns out a pinkish color after you add the appropriate ingredients into it.
So, now here,
Very tart, not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
this can overpower a drink.
Right,
Okay.
I can see.
And so you can't use a lot of it. We're going to do a drink that I've already foreshadowed on Instagram coming up called the Elder Fashion,
Right,
which is a riff on the Old Fashioned, and it uses elderflower syrup. And in the practice one that I did, I wasn't thinking about how powerful and flavored that this really is.
right,
So in an old fashioned, if you're using simple syrup, you use an ounce of simple syrup, and it does what an old fashioned should do. The drink gets sweeter as it goes down.
Right.
Well, this you can't use an ounce of this in that old fashioned. Even with 4 dashes of bitters, it's still like, oh my god. Yeah. There's a lot to that. Yeah. And there's a couple more. The Elder Fashion, and then there's another cocktail I'm toying with. I don't like the balance of that cocktail because this is such a overwhelming flavor.
Right.
So if I can get it, the ratios right, then we'll do that cocktail this fall.
all right.
So
And we did have another request for tequila. So, yeah. So I did, kind of tell that person and a couple others.
all right,
That we are going to do the combination night.
and we'll do tequila here.
We're going to make the freshest margarita style drink you've ever tasted.
That's true. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It is, and you can use whiskey or tequila in that drink.
And that's what we're going to do is we're going to do a smasherita 2 ways.
Smasherita, you can do a whiskey rita. It's called if
Right.
you use whiskey. And that is actually a really delicious drink. So, but yes, I do have some tequila drinks that I made when I was bartending at Joe Hart's, but that's a long time ago. I'll have to go back and do some research. I know tequila is very popular. It's really interesting as the cocktail boom has come since the year 2000, and it started really with vodka. and the Cosmopolitan was the early 2000, 99, 2000, and that's kind of what started it.
Right. Seabreeze was really popular for a while there too.
And now in the last decade, really, it's all bartenders, or shouldn't even call them bartenders. They're really mixologists. They're gifted at the chemistry, really.
Right. Coming up with new things on the spot.
And a lot of guys have gone back into some of the older books that I've talked about, like the Jerry Thomas Guide, and dug up old recipes and now have brought them forward. Because if you read the old recipe, it's like, what is a dash of gin? Well, a dash of gin to us is but a dash back then was an ounce of gin. So, they've taken those old recipes and they've reignited them. And that's where a lot of these Manhattan riffs have come from, because people get ideas from, it's the old adage. If I give you $20 and you give me $20, what do we have? $20.
Right.
But if I give you an idea and you give me a completely separate idea, we have two ideas that will lead to more ideas.
Right. Well, that's kind of how this started.
That is how this started. No, this is how this started. Don't let him fool you for a second.
Hey, Brent.
He went like this. Hey, we should live stream this.
Let's invite Buck over one night
and just start. And that's what we did. But you know what? We have a gas doing it. And normally, who's with us?
Brent.
Oh, hey, Brent. Good to see you, man.
Coach says, yeah, tequila night. That's my drink. Mostly just shots. Invite us for that night. We won't be doing shots of tequila there, Coach. I wouldn't be standing by the end of the thing.
There's some great tequila drinks that you can use mezcal or tequila that are really nice cocktails. It's just, I'm not a tequila guy. Tequila does not like me, and because of it doesn't like me. In other words, I hurl. I don't really like tequila cocktails.
I got a good tequila story. This is one of those friend of a friend of a friend type.
Sure.
It's okay with us. So who knows if it actually happened or not. A buddy of mine, his saying is, tequila will make you take back shit you ain't stole yet. I knew you'd like the bachelor there too. Make you take back shit you ain't stole.
Yeah, but there's truth to that.
Well, see, now his case in point here was he knew this guy that got drunk one night and apparently went out and this was in the days of Radio Shack, and he went out and bought some big huge stereo system from Radio Shack, brought it home, set it up, woke up the next morning, did not remember purchasing it the night before, and actually took it back to the store and tried to return it and say, I think I stole this last night. They said, no, you came in here and bought it. So, who knows if it's actually true? But yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. That's a great story, period.
And margaritas, and Coach, that's what we're doing. Like we said, it's going to be a smash Rita on the tequila side, whiskey Rita on the whiskey side of that.
And you can rim the glass in salt or sugar. Obviously, if you do the smasherita, you're going to do it in salt, and if you do the whiskey Rita, you should do it in sugar. Or nothing at all. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a tasty drink.
I usually do them without salt, and that's just the old part.
Right. It's a preference thing too. So, yep. Now here, you know what we didn't get to?
What's that?
Well, I put out in the Instagram thing the music that we've been listening to. We have this will go, and for those of you that have been following us along, we talked about we have very similar music interests. But it's also very eclectic. Both of us have very eclectic likes and dislikes in music, even though we have a lot in common in that regard.
You know what Gainesville, Florida was listening to yesterday while I was driving around? Rhapsody in Blue.
Oh, Gershwin.
Well, Liquid Tension. But yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's still Gershwin.
But we do. We have a very diverse, wide range of music that we listen to. Pretty much, I've always said anything but country or rap. In my case.
See, instead of rap,
some country and
we have to start with the country song then.
Yes.
There's a video out, and you can go to YouTube, and there's a guy that put out a video. I think it's called Nature's Pocket. I think it is. But this guy that made this YouTube video, and he asked Chat GPT, which is an artificial intelligence program for those of you that aren't awake or aren't conscious on this planet.
There's a few of those out there.
I know. He asked it to write the perfect country and western song, and it's just funny. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Please go research it. Yes, it's funny.
Whether you're laughing or
The first time you hear it, you'll be like,
possibly
"What?"
gagging,
And then you'll realize that it's a kind of a gag, but I mean, this really the song that this thing wrote. It was funny as it's funny as I'll get on. But listen,
we do have a featured music section on the YouTube as well. For the stuff
and
you mentioned.
that's where I'm going. You know, last week I talked about for some crazy reason. There's a pianist now. That was actually Lee that found her.
Lee turned us on to her. Yeah.
Yeah, and Michael's a pianist himself, so he's like, "Hey, you got to listen to this woman. It's a fantastic." Well, she popped back into my feed after I don't know a couple of years.
Right.
You know, I listen to a lot of jazz, especially when I'm cooking. I like listening to post bop era jazz. So early Herbie Hancock, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, all the way up until like Stanley's Turntine. So there's a huge swath of ridiculously talented jazz artists that I like to listen to. But this pianist, her name is Hiromi, and we're going to leave one of her concerts. It was a 2011 concert, and I was working out, and I always listen to music when I'm working out, put it in my ears, and I listened to it again, and it's not my typical workout music.
Right.
My typical workout music is
It's the high energy stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Get your blood pumping. And see, Hiromi does that in a different way though.
Yeah, it's just different. So she does a jazz trio. She's with a bassist and a drummer, and her on the piano. She's just absolutely overwhelmingly talented. So we're going to put that music up. It's worth your. Well, I think the concert is 20. No, I think the answer is 2 hours and 11 minutes. But you don't have to listen to the whole thing.
Hey Shay.
Hey Shay. But it's really
blue jeans.
It's really interesting. So now I also said I had a couple feel good stories. I'm staying on the music thing.
There we go. Okay.
This was just my feel good. It choked me up, actually.
Right.
It's I have 2 feel good stories this week to kind of share with everybody. You can go on YouTube and type in Handel Society, meaning Handel, the composer, Handel. Well, the Handel Society is run out of Boston, and I think it was the Boston Symphony Orchestra was doing something with the Handel Society. Wow. And they were doing.
They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, long.
That's the orchestras are. But.
Yeah, long story short, a grandma and grandpa had brought their grandson, who's autistic and nonverbal, to listen to a concert.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of a piece, the whole auditorium, and you can, I mean, it's a sizable, like 7,500 people, and I mean, it's a concert auditorium.
Right.
And that's about the size because it shows on the video the size. It could be 10,000.
Right.
But I don't think it was that big. But here, there's absolute silence at the end of this piece. The audience hasn't clapped yet, and all of a sudden, this nonverbal autistic kid goes, "Wow!
Oh, cool!"
And the grandparents, and of course, the crowd didn't know what to do, but they realized. I mean, there's no question that this is like a 5 or 6 year old child,
right?
Voice, and they all started clapping, and it was not an appropriate point to clap in the concert because obviously the concert goers knew that it was a pause in the music,
right?
So I think the
still to the effect of that child.
The conductor was so taken aback by it. They tried the whole, and you can go on. There's a piece on YouTube. Just go look at the Handel Society. You probably can type that in, and you'll see this video.
Wow.
It was just such a good feel-good story. The conductor and the director of the Handel Society was so taken aback by this young child in pure amazement of the movement of that music that it's that wow stopped the concert, that they chased down and they sent an email to all the patrons that were there for this special event of the Handel Society, and the grandma and grandpa were so embarrassed by that they rushed out. They left, they did not right away, but at the end of the performance, they scurried out of the music hall, and they were looking for to, because there's such a great appreciation. The orchestra had such a great appreciation for a young child to do that. So that was just my feel good story. I just was like,
well, you know, it's like the old video of the Alzheimer's patient that was the ballerina. You ever seen that?
yes,
And they go back and play one of her videos, and all of a sudden, even though she has no idea who the hell she is, even she starts actually doing the movements with the video of herself.
she remembered.
Yeah, she remembered it. And people just don't understand that music is a freaking key to the brain, man.
Now here's one thing that's cool about this drink. Before I get to my second feel good story, as the ice melts, the pink gets pinker and pinker. That's kind of that's the magic in this drink. It goes from blue to pink. Now there's a video that the distillery did, and what they did is they made the drink, and then they poured the lime juice in, and that's really what starts that process. The acidic process starts turning like
flower.
Yep.
One more thing before you go to your other feel good story, back to the music and the key to the brain.
Yeah.
That's evident by when I went up to Georgia not long before my dad passed. And Shay will attest to this. We were sitting there trying to do some recordings, and he was having a hard time remembering and his own songs. You know, so we were trying to find something to get a good take of. But the only way he could make it through the entire song was for me to sing along with it, and be able to get
that drilled his memory.
One full take, drilled his memory in, and he was able to lock in with it while I was singing. But that just shows you. I mean, 3 months later, he passed from Alzheimer's, basically. You know, complications from it.
Yeah, I understand.
The brain.
Now my mom didn't know who she was, who I was the last time I saw her.
But it's just amazing what music can do for.
Oh,
well, here when I was laying in my coma, this man played "Closer to the Heart" in my ear.
I did. Yeah,
He sure did.
yeah.
All right, your other feel good story. Buck's with us now too, by the way.
Oh, hey man, good to see you, Buck.
We need to have him back in sometime soon.
Yeah, you know,
So we can just
we have said we're overdue for a guest. Yeah, I don't know if Buck would fit back there. Hey, Buck's a big dude, man.
camera out that way a little bit, pull the table out
Yeah.
some so we can get a third back in here. But him and Derek, I want to have Derek in for sure.
That I thought, and I know Derek will come too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. There, we should do a little networking there and get with like Shannon and Jamie and let them know when he's going.
Well, you know, the other thing I'm thinking about, maybe we could invent like a heart themed cocktail. Either that or I'll dig one of my books out and kind of look for.
Here, the funny thing is, one of the places that I went the other day, I was telling them about what we do here, and I said, you know, it's just a couple of heart attack survivors sitting around drinking. It sounded a little funny. And that's exactly where it hurts. Heart attack survivors, you're drinking liquor, shame on you.
Yeah, well, of course. But see, one of the
But the thing is, and this is what we always say, this is not about the outcome.
It's not. It's about us getting together and doing what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Just talking about stuff that we've had during the week.
Holy shit, Buck says he lost 40 pounds.
I'm proud of you, Buck.
No kidding.
You know
Right
what,
there, brother?
If you lost 40 pounds since you've been here, that's because we scared the shit out of them. Talking about death and what it's like and how it's not fun. And I showed Buck my scar when we were outside, even though he couldn't, we were bald too. Either one of us should have been driving that night.
Yeah, I agree. We all went a little too
We
far. That
we
night.
had
I like the like I said, this is my house, so I don't have to drive.
yeah. Well, and we really do a very good job of sticking to our one drink rule.
Only a couple of times we've gone past that, and usually it was because, like that night that we were filming for the night you were going to be off.
Yes, correct.
Plus, it was a little celebration that night too for
Yeah.
the end of our whiskey run.
Yeah.
Our first whiskey run, our first series.
So
I'm having fun with the gin series. This is cool.
yeah, I was not tangent.
Tangent,
We at least we call our tangents, right?
and we need to start putting those in the graphics too.
Tangent. There's a gin drink in here that I wanted to make, but I didn't think it fit the lineup. But we end with the king of cocktails, what's known as the king of cocktails, the classic martini.
Mhm.
But there's a drink called the Bijou, which comes out of New Orleans, and it's called the jewel of all cocktails. And it's another gin drink, and it's a Martinez kind of riff, but it's different enough, and it'd be a perfect place to bring those old Nick and Nora glasses that
Okay.
I found. But I eventually we will get back. We're going to do. There's so many more gin drinks.
Oh, yeah. We'll come back to a gin series for sure.
Yeah,
So
and
Buck says, and still going, by the way, from the 40 pounds. He says, I'm a professional.
well, Buck, that's good. No, that's seriously good. I'm very proud of you,
So
buddy.
that'll be better for you too, brother.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Second feel good story.
Second feel good.
Not for any dead space here. Actually, my second feel good story has to do with my wife, Elizabeth.
The birthday girl. One of the birthday girls over there.
She was at. We're fortunate in that we had a wonderful neighbor that sold her house to another set of wonderful neighbors. Well, when she was cleaning out her house to move, she gave us a sewing machine, and Elizabeth said, "Yeah, we'll take it. It's an old Singer. It's a really nice council
Nice wooden style?
nice.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Singer.
Fixed.
My grandmother had one of those.
And we got it fixed, and it works great and everything. But then we realized we don't have any room,
And nobody wanted to use it.
and nobody. Grace wanted to learn to sew, and I actually told her. I said, "No, in the house that we built in Virginia, we had another sewing machine, and I made all the curtains on the main level on that house. Yeah, I learned how to sew because I love to cook. Okay,
Hello, Carmen.
in seventh grade, I tried to get into cooking as one of my home economic classes because you had to take a home ec class, and the class filled up before.
Hi, Carmen. You're in the video. How'd you do that?
That was pretty cool, man. The class filled up before they got to the S's.
All right.
So I got stuck in a sewing class, which I did not want to take. It was me and one other guy, Tim Suet, which I don't know. But anyways, I learned how to sew on a sewing machine when I was in the seventh grade. And it's like riding a bike. How do you do this? And I made all those curtains before. I shouldn't even call them curtains because they were nice. They were
They're all silk.
sat.
They're all lined.
Sat. Line sat.
Okay.
They
We're lined with silk.
yeah.
Jimmy Henson, lead singer from Rough and Ready. The
Hey,
leader of the
Jimmy.
band.
Yeah.
Good singer.
I like his
Thanks,
stuff,
man.
man.
Oh, Shelby.
I feel like I know you. He's told me so much about you.
Oh, Shelly.
You got Betty over here singing Shelley, man.
So, anyways, my second feel good story is Elizabeth we're down at
And
the
hospice.
at the hospice, and of course, one of the things I always am looking for is vintage glassware. Okay. Well, there's a young couple, young Russian.
I don't know, Natasha. maybe.
Natasha. There's a young couple, and they're looking at a sewing machine they had there for $40. And Elizabeth is like, "Are you looking at that sewing machine?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're thinking about getting it, but it's not really what we want. We really want this." And
It was expensive, and they both sewed.
yeah, and they both were
They didn't have the money.
sewers.
Right.
So it was, and Elizabeth says to him, "Hey, would you rather have?" And describes the singer would
Which was way nice.
sing
Right.
that he had, and she calls up our new neighbor who still has it and says, "Hey, do you want to get rid of it?" And our new neighbor, of course, is like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's just taking up room in my house."
There you go.
So she
You're
made
able
the
to connect
connection
somebody.
and got some free sewing to people that really love to sew.
Very
Isn't it amazing how the universe works?
Yeah.
That's my feel good story. I thought
That's awesome.
that made me feel really good.
By the way, Wayne
Made me
Kelly,
feel good too.
Wayne Kelly is cousins with Jimmy Henson.
Oh, okay.
Those,
Small world, right?
well,
Oh, wait a second. You know,
North family band.
North Georgia is not too far from West Virginia.
Now wait a minute, hold on. We didn't have banjos going on back there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where I got that rose bourbon down there.
I know you told me about that, which is an upcoming episode.
Yep. Yeah, we got to get into
We're
that.
going to do vacation bourbons because I got the Alvarado bourbon on my vacation, and Michael got the Rose Distillery bourbon when he was on vacation. So we'll do that sometime at some
We'll
point.
figure it out. Right now, we're booked up through the end of the Gin Gems, the first six, these 6 week series of gins.
Yeah, and if you go back and if you look at the Gin Gems, the object of this is really there's 6 units, 3 in tall Collins glasses, and it's a progression. It's supposed to be a progression of drinks that takes you from. It's designed in my mind to take somebody from, ooh, I remember drinking gin as a kid and I got really sick and it tastes like pine sap and I just don't like gin. It's designed to take that person from, okay, I'm more mature now.
Right.
Take you from a very basic gin drink through a more complicated gin drink all the way to the king of all cocktails, which is the dry gin martini.
Right.
Which is what we'll get to.
He's stuck on maturing, the drinking maturing. Both of these guys can attest to this, Jimmy and Wayne. You know, pretty much I was, like we talked about before, it was pretty much Jack and Coke, or it was my preset Beam Me Up Scotty, which we're going to do that one night too.
Yeah.
We're going to do Beam Me Up Scotty.
There's about time you mix a cocktail around here.
Yeah, there you go. Let me do a little bit of the bartending here.
So I get the 2 parts bullshit that night?
Right. So I got a great story for you, a drinking story from the old West and Grady days. We were playing this place called Dolly's out in Austell, right? And this particular night, we've been there for maybe a week or 2 already at this point. Usually did either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right.
Okay, yeah.
We'd load out on Saturday night and hit the Waffle House.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Demolish the Waffle
3 o'clock in the morning. Right.
Well, this particular week, the waitress who was cute, trying not to say, she was wearing you remember the Budweiser lycra dresses?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Everyone else on it. All right, past the stage and said, "You guys will play Radar Love. I'm not going to go any further than that." All 5 of us looked at each other and the wives and girlfriends clubs were kind of sitting there tapping their foot, looking at us while we were playing that song. But
guys normally don't put this song in your set.
the long and short of it was that we had a very, very enthusiastic patron, and we had been, doing our standard, shooter and beer combos through the night. I would do a Beam Me Up Scotty and then nurse a beer to a set.
Okay.
So by the end of the night, it was pretty good.
Here, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the alcohol that the performers consume, some of them are real,
Right.
and a lot of them are not, because you can't get smashed. And
You can't, not and still retain your ability to play your instrument. You just can't.
very few people can do it. Jerry Garcia even admitted, I've heard him say
Well,
that.
I had guys in the band try to,
And you just can't play.
Right. But so where was I going? Lost my train of thought.
He grilled Swiss cheese.
Same night, the enthusiastic patron. He kept asking for requests all night long, and then he would buy us a shot of tequila after the request.
If we played.
3 or 4 songs a night. So we each did our normal shit, and then
Played 3 or 4 requests and had 3 or 4 shots.
well, luckily we had designated drivers through the Wives and Girlfriends and Friends Club. And our
That's good.
roadies and that kind of stuff. I swear I saw 3 of everything on the way home. I was sitting in the passenger seat on this. Way the hell out there.
That's why that's just another reason why I don't
Kill you.
drink tequila. You kill you.
Kill you.
Kill you.
Oh man.
Too much. Hey, I like the T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this was actually for Betty. I had the Godsmack combo going on tonight. That's one of Betty's favorite bands.
Yeah. No.
Oh, look,
We switched.
they're out.
No.
I was getting our back up.
But yeah, Betty and I attended the Godsmack concert last year in Tampa, so that's why.
It's on my playlist for my work. Godsmack has got 6 or 7 songs on my playlist for my workout playlist.
So Betty,
I love Godsmack.
Betty's got 2 more concerts lined.
1,000 horsepower, man.
Oh, love that.
I really like their new one, that Lighting Up the Sky.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
Yeah, it's a good album.
But our next excursions are going to be Tampa. We're going to go see Creed in September.
Oh yeah. You're seeing Creed twice. You told me.
And then in December, we're going to see him in Orlando.
Yep.
Right.
Oh.
So, and Wolfgang Van Halen is
Opening for Creed in December. Yeah, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Which I even said. Really? Even though Elizabeth, I know she doesn't like that music.
She can manage it. Betty said do plenty.
Oh, she should have seen the look she just had on her face.
Oh, he
Like-
knows. I have to have words.
Betty sat through, and Judy Bartlett is watching. Hello, Judy. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Cheers to you, Judy.
Cheers to you. But it was. I don't know.
It was experience, but I have words, and this was.
But it's instrumental.
I got to give Betty props for that. She was a trooper. I mean, she sat through a 2-hour instrumental concert.
After you went to that, if there's any place that we should go see some live music together, it's that place.
Underbelly. Oh
Yes,
my God.
absolutely.
We need to call them and see if we can do a show there once.
There you go. And this is just a shout out, even though we only have 5 fans. So
Right.
somehow, through 6 degrees of separation, one of our 5 fans will know somebody at Underbelly in Jacksonville. Great music venue, great whiskey bar. Go
Yes.
there.
Go check it out. Barbecue is off the wall, man. The whole place is incredible. Their homemade macaroni and cheese. Bless you, sir.
Cats are getting
Something. Oh, sorry. Is that what getting?
Yeah.
We have them down here a little longer than normal.
Usually alcohol loosens me up.
Scott's a trooper here too, because we have 2 cats and he's allergic, so we clean everything out and get him out of the room before he gets here. But sometimes he.
That's why I take Benadryl before it comes.
On screen.
So
Yeah, no, hey,
this is a live show.
this is a live show.
Yeah.
We can say swear words and we can show our ass and blow our nose.
Well, I don't know. Facebook might get onto us for that. I think they have a no gore policy.
Yeah, my ass after what I've been through, it's not pretty. It's a lot prettier than it could be, though. It could have been a lot worse.
Jimmy said, I would join you, but I have hair. Yeah, that left a long time ago, brother. I get thinking the other day, I've been bald officially for 6 years now. I've been keeping it like this.
See, you're such a lucky fuck.
What's that?
I've been bald since 22.
I said, I just got the flesh
I'm
colored
coming up on
yarmulke.
40 years of being bald.
I got the flesh colored yarmulke at about 35.
You're lucky. I'm telling you.
So, wasn't too bad. But then it started with the peninsula. Too. So, with the
The
peninsula.
Eddie Munster.
Yeah. So finally, I just said, to hell with this. I'm tired of it. Because it looked, even though I wasn't doing a come over, it looked too much like a come over.
Yeah, but when we were working together, you still had hair.
Decent amount of that.
Decent amount.
Yeah.
That's about how much I had when I was 20. know in the Marine Corps it started just coming off in the helmet.
Granddad. Lose
Both.
early.
Both.
Ah, you had it both sides.
I was screwed from birth.
Aiden's let his hair grow out. I'll show you a picture after we cut it off.
Oh, that and see now if he's got does he have Jen's hair? Does Jen's dad have a good head of hair? See, that's what,
better than mine. My side did, but yeah, I mean, his hair is really thick and curly. So
yeah, this got
both styles of hair. You know,
that's one of the benefits that Colton, my son, my middle child, got robbed because he's got my hair and hairline, but Jack has got that thick hair like Elizabeth's family. So is Grace, fortunately.
nice.
So, you know, if I had more lime juice, I'd actually make. Now here, I said last week, I squeezed the juice out of six limes to get this today. Here's number 7, and I have 8. But see, if you go to Sam's Club now, you can buy big bags and just juice all of them. So going forward, now, as I said too last week, I found all my bottles along with my Collins glasses and my other stuff. But I had to buy these rubber stoppers because they were 20 years in a box. And actually, the rubber stoppers, I had to buy this whole thing right here. It comes apart. You can pull it apart,
Right.
and push it back together.
You were talking earlier about going out and finding glassware and ballroom and stuff. I saw something this week, or just earlier today, that you might be interested in. You know that over a 43rd, about once a year they have a community yard sale
Oh yeah.
neighborhood where they've got like 4 or 5 entries.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Oh really?
I was already thinking about going over there and looking for some barware, glassware type stuff myself.
You never know it. I mean, it's you can buy this stuff on well, I can't buy this stuff because I mean this is a heavy. Well, you can.
Right.
A heavy bottom glass that you know is made in the United States.
Right.
Because this glass was probably made in the 1960s or 70s. So it's probably made. There used to be a real big glass manufacturer in Tampa, as a matter of fact. Yeah, you can buy glasses like this stuff on Amazon for $30 and get a set of 6, or you can go to a secondhand store and just look for it and find 4 or 5 or 6 or 3 or whatever else glasses that you're looking for, but they're 50 cents a piece.
Right.
You know, and they're, I mean, this is a good heavy bottom glass.
Right.
You know, or you can find like you'll see the Nick and Nora glasses that I just really love because they're I can't explain to you for what I think their age might be. The condition that they're in is stellar.
Cool.
So
I'm looking forward to seeing.
yeah, they're if it's like you got a coupe glass, and then you have a martini glass.
Right.
It's kind of right in the middle of those two.
So a little pointy,
But it's delicate. It's for like the bijou. That would be something you would put into a Nick and Nora glass. And we'll have plenty of cocktails coming up this fall that will fall into that. So
sweet. I noticed on our logo, the one that I used for our main logo, that one of those is kind of a Nick and Nora looking.
It's got a stem. That's a small stem Nick and Nora.
Okay. Cool.
Because you can get them on long stems or short stems.
Roxanne joined us. I didn't even see when you popped in there, Roxanne. She is another one of the we I watched something this week.
How can you not think of Eddie Murphy? As soon as I hear that name.
Well, so, yeah, there, but with me, I
Of course, Sting too.
Metro Police. I saw an interview with Stuart Copeland and Sting.
Okay.
Was about the song.
Think about the musical talent that was in. Oh shit. Oh my.
Neil Peart had respect for Stuart Copeland.
Oh, absolutely.
Vice versa. Yeah, they were right.
People don't realize how
each other
talented. I think people at the time, as soon as you heard the police, you're like, "Hey, these motherfuckers got it going on."
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a lot of people that just kind of took their music for granted, and it's like you don't realize the talent these people are.
Right. You know, because some people perceive a lot of that as silly music. I mean, how can you not hear da do 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 da 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 and not think silly? You know, I mean, come on. You know, or Murder by Numbers has a silly aspect to it. Walking on the Moon. Some of the other crap along the way. Team of Sahara.
Yeah, but that's all filler.
Yeah, but the musicianship behind
It's
it
fantastic.
is pretty freaking stellar.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Stuart Copeland fan.
Here's one that
He's a much more talented drummer than he's given credit for.
one that Andy Summers actually sang.
And
Instead of
another,
singing. Incredible guitar player.
yes,
And had a little punky side to him. Because have you ever heard Mother?
yes.
I mean, the rhythmic displacement through that entire song is just some crazy shit. Like, what is that told from the point of view of Norman Bates, too?
Yeah, no, I know. Now here,
On those lines, here, Tangent,
okay,
new release.
I went on a tangent there in my mind. New trivia tangent.
New release out off of Rush Backstage. Two of them, actually. 25th anniversary versions of My Favorite Headache by Jerry Lee
Okay.
and Victor
Oh,
on vinyl.
dude, really?
Clear vinyl.
Cool. Very cool.
And I think Getty's is
Just putting it out on vinyl.
I think Getty's is blue-green vinyl.
You know, now here you were saying before that you're not a big appreciator. You don't have a lot of appreciation for hip hop,
Right.
or rap music,
Right.
Which I don't either, except for Tupac,
Right.
because Tupac was
Yeah, there's some I have some respect for. I don't necessarily like to listen to him, but I recognize.
Tupac was just on a different
Yeah.
wavelength, man. He was a different level, and I think he got killed for it. Me personally, what he was talking about was what's coming around now. We didn't talk about the craziness this week.
Yeah, it's been seriously crazy out there.
I mean, there's so much disinformation and misinformation. It's hard to we're getting into the
Well, when you
what's
can't
real
hear
and what's not real.
horse's mouth. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but I just I mean, crazy shit is starting to circulate finally. And I've been expecting this, but you know what the most shocking, crazy thing is, if you really think about it, I'm going to take what they're telling us is the number and cut it in half and put this in perspective. Okay, we had a former president and the richest man in the world, according to whoever,
Right.
do an interview on a platform,
On a free speech platform.
on a free speech platform. And according to the guy that owns the platform, and this is what,
the person who made the interview,
right,
who did the interview.
that so far as us talking tonight, I looked at it today, has 998 million, so almost a billion views. So I'm going to put this in perspective, okay? Let's just say that that's bullshit, okay?
Mhm.
And we'll cut it in half.
Cut it in half, right?
Cut it in half.
But still,
So 500 million views. Okay, that is 5 times the average Super Bowl audience. We have come to a point of craziness where what I get out of that show, and I don't care what your politics are. We don't talk about it. But what I get out of that is that's just proof positive that what they've been talking about, what one side of the equation has been talking about for 5 years now, or 6 years now, or 8 years now, is that the legacy media is irrelevant. They have proved that point.
Yep.
And I just, wow. Now think about that in the scope of the world. It's crazy to think that's just part of the craziness.
oh yeah,
We ended on craziness this week.
we ended on it this week, but hopefully there won't be too much of it this coming week. But we know there will be.
Well, it's only going to get
Just gonna get
crazier
crazier.
as we get further into the fall. I think things are going to speed up. I just hope that we don't experience what we did last time with riots and all the nonsense.
Yeah.
And all the violence, because the worst kind of violence, in my opinion, is political violence.
Here, at the risk of reaching another one of our subjects, I'm just going to say one phrase: "Live by the sword, dies by the sword. Do not take up arms."
Yeah, no,
You know,
it's not.
watch the movie. Don't participate.
Pop your popcorn, get in your aircraft, fly around watching the movie. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's what some people want. So no.
And I think there's people on both sides of the equation that would like to see.
Oh yeah,
Because they're crazy people.
and it's the extremists on both sides.
Yes.
Those of us here in the middle are just lost. We need to be freaking political party, man. We need to get these people on this side and these people on this side and just kick the hell out of them and find something right in the middle for all of us. Anyway.
Soapbox over. Hey, special shout out. Islamorada Brewery and Distillery, mile marker 82 in the Florida Keys. Thank you very much, Larissa Bastay, for making a great cocktail, a great tasty cocktail. If you're down vacationing in the Florida Keys, you have to stop there. It's at mile marker 82 on the east side of the road. You can't miss it. Big yellow school bus building.
And another happy birthday to our ladies over here, Elizabeth and Betty. Michelle, they're sitting right over here. They've already had their drink. They wanted another one, but you know.
They were ringing their
we
empty
cut them off.
glasses at us, but we held to our one rule, one drink rule.
And this week,
Oh, I think
we
that
got
we
4
have to
people
follow
together instead of 2.
That's true,
Why do we have to follow it?
because that's the rule.
It's their birthday. We might let them have it.
I don't have enough shit for another one.
Well,
I don't have enough lime juice for another one.
we got all kind of whiskey down here.
That's true. You can have a whiskey drink. You know, I make you an old fashioned. I know Mike has got bitters here somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's regular bitters, not Angus Road.
Doesn't make a difference. Bitters and bitters. Not really.
All right. You guys have a great week. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy out there. We will be back next week, having the sage with Jen Jim's. What's our drink next week? Oh, look at that. Party foul.
Chuck too much too already. We're having an East Side next week.
East side
A
next
classic and modern classic served in a coupe. And we're starting to drive towards that martini cocktail.
I got plans for that one already. I've already told you. You guys have a great week.
We'll see you next week.